Grimes is going to come in for Irving in the corner. Klay Thompson.
Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me.
It's only been one game, Wardell. Relax. Before I get to talking positive about Klay, let me begin my spiel with something negative that has nothing to do with Klay.
Like they might get run out of the gym. Now a chance to tie the game. In and out.
Has your beard become so overgrown that it now obscures your eyes, Harden? And there goes my smile. There were a few shots Klay took in this game that was making me thinking, oh boy, it's not looking too good, because his preseason was not it at all. But that three in the corner, that was beautiful. That I did not think that was going in. That was sensational. And since Luka is a Jedi, he can tap into the Force to see the future. And he just knew Klay was going to make the shot. You could see the trust and confidence he has in Klay's abilities, and this is only the first game of the season. Did I say Luka was a Jedi? Yes, I said that already. Look at, what is that? What was that? With Wembanyama right behind him? This is why you don't give Jedis fresh cuts. They don't need another reason to feel even more confident in their abilities. He mastered both sides of the Force, and he made a saber. Tell me below if you know what that's from. You cultured people below, tell me. This game was pretty physical, and it was a low-scoring game, at least in the first half. I think no team had 50, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was about 49, 48-ish or something like that by half. And the Mavericks begin to slowly but surely assert their dominance in the third quarter. And by the fourth quarter, at the top of the fourth quarter, they just straight up left the Spurs in the dust. Due in large part to not only the offensive wizardry by Kyrie and Luka, but also amazing contributions from Derek Lively. This guy played sensational defense on Wembanyama. Now, it's not like I haven't seen Wembanyama contain. We've seen players such as Embrittle be able to contain him. We've seen Jokic and some others kind of limit his effectiveness. But I can't help but give props to Derek Lively because he was putting Wembanyama through a full 8-hour shift. He wasn't letting Wembanyama get anything. There was one play in particular, and it was towards the beginning of the game. He played great defense, as good a defense as you can possibly play on Wembanyama, and Wembanyama, like Luffy from One Piece or Mr. Fantastic, just stretches his arms to the damn rim. Bro thinks he's Looney Tunes Jordan. In the next direct matchup they had, Derek Lively straight up made Wembanyama travel. He made life for this extraterrestrial so difficult, he contemplated just taking a break and flying to Neptune real quick for a breather. Hold on, let me see this play again. Yeah, how could I forget about Gafford? That boy had a Doberman and a Rottweiler on him most of this game. And then he scores on the other end. Look, he gets his own rebound. Them dogs was dogging. They was dogging the hell out of Wembanyama. He did not have a good game. He was 3 for 15 at one point by the third quarter, and he was missing some easy makeables. He was wide open for some of his threes, was botching them, and you already know you can't really block him if he goes up for a three. Nobody in the league can, and he's just missing them. He had Kyrie on him for certain possessions, and I don't know if some of the Spurs players knew it. I saw Wembanyama standing there. I was like, do they know Kyrie is on him? I guess not. I don't know. Some of those same problems and issues from last year where there were numerous possessions where Wembanyama was literally under the rim and could have gotten an easy make and nobody notices, and then he's clapping his head like, hello? But that's why you brought State Farm on this team. This was funny to me. It's just, you see Wembanyama back there like, merde. Not only does that mean shit in French, but that's the same word I used when I saw Chris Paul's stats for the night. 1 for 6 and Wembanyama 1 for 8 behind 3-point range. No, nasty, disgusting. That's why they ended up losing this game even worse than they would have lost if they were playing marginal, which I think as a whole, discounting Wembanyama and Chris Paul, at least defensively, the Spurs were doing their thing for the first half. But the scoring, what about the scoring? There's not enough players on here to provide you offense. And I think coupled with the defense being put on Wembanyama, he's just trying to make something happen and he's forcing it. Far too many of the shots the Spurs were putting up didn't feel organic. It felt as though there was a need to put some points on the board because the Mavs are going on a scoring run, or we got to do something to respond back. I don't know what the future holds exactly for the team going forward. They've got plenty of draft capital and players that they can move around, make a trade. Hey, wait a minute. Why am I feeling bad for the Spurs? No, fuck you, Spurs. You've got too many draft picks. OKC can go to hell too. The both of you. You're sluts and whores with draft picks. That's enough. Both these teams got more first round picks than Detroit has picks, period. This isn't the video for that. Getting back to the Mavericks looked like the team that went and did what they were doing in the Western Conference. You've got Luka that there's not really too much to worry about there, but I do think going forward, he needs to somehow evolve how he approaches some things, because we saw some deficiencies he displayed in the finals. We saw how there was arguing that he did with the refs, and he complains too much for me. He gets in too many refs' faces, and I don't want that to become a long-standing habit. And just dribbling the ball up, and sometimes I think chucking up a three where there doesn't really need to be a three, but because he's so fantastical, he's so mystical with what he's done. It's almost just like when he does it, it's just like it's Luka, so it doesn't matter. He has damn near the same feel of a Steph Curry. When you see Steph shoot a shot up where you're like, what the hell was that? You're like, oh, it's Steph, I'll let it go. If it's anybody else, though, you look at him different. So he's kind of reached that status in a way. He and Kyrie are always going to be the biggest threats in the league offensively. And with the great squad they've put around them, and Derek Lively and Gafford, many other players who come in and give solid contributions, as you can't help but really believe they are going to go all the way again, which is very possible. If it ends up being a Mavericks and Celtics finals again, I kind of don't want that, because I don't think the addition of Klay Thompson is going to help make things better. It would have to be Kyrie is going to have to play up to snuff, because Kyrie just wasn't. If Kyrie would have came along, I think things would have been different. They would have made the series go to 6 or something. I just still don't believe, even if everyone is playing up to what you'd expect them to, it's just how overpowered the Celtics are. But we're talking about things that we don't even know is going to happen. This is what, first game of the season for them? They don't really have anything to worry about. And if Klay Thompson can be consistent, he doesn't have to be Klay Thompson of old. If he can do what he did in this game, even a little less than what he did in this game, be somebody that averages a good 16 to 18 points, they for sure are definitely going to make it to the finals again. And in going back to the Spurs, I believe they need an offensive stalwart of some sort. They need somebody who's a dynamic scorer to go with Wembanyama, because I don't think Wembanyama is going to be somebody that's putting up a ton of points like that. He's somebody that he affects the game in so many different ways. His primary method or going into a game isn't score first. He's going to block, he's going to steal, he's going to assist. And if you get a great scorer to pair alongside with him, his point total goes up. Not that he can't be a scorer. I just don't think that's going to be the primary motivation in his game as an overall player. And I know they have Harrison Barnes, they've got Sohan, they've got Champagne. That's his name. I hope I'm not mispronouncing his name, but they need more. They need something else. They're still a young team figuring things out. And when you've got Wembanyama, your future is secured. It just depends how great and grand that future is going to be. So that's about all I have to say. Tell me if you guys saw this game below. You find any fault in anything I've said? What do you think about the Spurs overall as a franchise, how they've been handling trades and offseason and putting talent around Wembanyama? And what do you think about these Mavericks? Do you think they're going all the way again? And can they potentially beat the Celtics in a matchup if they were to face each other again? Comment below, let me know. Like and subscribe if you are new, and I shall see you all on the next one.